Hey everyone, Chris Bark here, and today I want to talk to you about a deal that we had going through to buy a new business that has basically fallen through because of things that I have done within the deal. So, as many of you might be aware, we're in the process of looking at different businesses to buy, to bring into our portfolio, to actually make it so that our company can give better service, can do better things for our customers. So with that in mind, we're looking quite actively at a marketing agency who can come on board, who can take on a lot of our clients and allow them to outsource their marketing, but still within the trust that they've already got within our company. So that had led us to, we've actively spoke to about 150 businesses over the last 6 months. Not all marketing agencies, all different things, from software companies to web development companies to other EPOS companies that could all come in within our group to allow us to do things that we can't do right now. So the marketing agency, so although a lot of you know that we do bits of marketing consultancy and we do work with individual customers, it's not really scalable because it's very heavily reliant on our marketing team. So what we're doing is we're looking at adding more expertise, and a good way to do that is to take an existing agency that's already delivering services for other people and to add them to our group. So as I say, we've been in contact with quite a few companies, and we came across a company that's located quite close to us. So they're located on the Wirral. They're they're owned by a really nice couple who've been in business for 30 years. They've been really big and now they're more a manageable size, that are really profitable, and we're kind of a perfect fit for us. So the only thing, so the initial conversation, so what happens is within a deal, we basically get to a point where we have an initial conversation, probably over the phone, and then we get to a first meeting. Now, that first meeting basically involved us having a discussion about their business, getting to see a bit about them, getting to see some of the financials, which was all perfect, exactly what we wanted. So what we did then is we decided to move it on a step further. So we agreed a fee that we were willing to pay, that they were happy with, we were happy with, which was perfect. The only little stipulation they had is they wanted it done reasonably quickly because they wanted to be able to retire, and they wanted to do that before the end of the financial year. Now, as I say, the initial meet went really well. We got on well with them. They seemed to like us. We could see the synergy, they could see the synergy, they could see how we could come in and work with their existing clients, and we could basically help their business grow and vice versa. Now, that led us to get to heads of terms. Now, heads of terms is like a legal contract, which basically means we're in exclusivity, where we can talk, we can look over the financial information and make sure everything's right while we try and get the deal put through. So the deal, as I say, we'd agreed a really good deal for both parties. We were both happy with it. Where the deal fell down actually wasn't really within the structure of the deal. It was to do with me and my communication with the two sellers of the business. I rather foolishly presumed that because we'd got on so well and because we'd agreed a deal, that we would then leave it to the professionals. So we'd leave it to our solicitors, their solicitors, our accountants, their accountants, and they would all liaise with each other and the deal would get done. Now, this is probably where it fell down from my point. I didn't keep communicating enough with the two people who were actually selling the business. I wasn't, I made myself available. We had, I think, over the course, the deal went on for about 8 weeks and ended up coming to an end because they didn't feel that the deal was going to get done in time, even though both my solicitors and my accountants assured me that it was going to be the case. So essentially, over those 9 weeks, just so you can get an idea, I'd spoke to these particular clients, these particular sellers, about 4 or 5 times over the phone. We'd had an face-to-face meeting twice in that time. We put together quite a lot of structure from our side, how we go about taking it over, doing all that. So we'd done a lot of work in the background, but we hadn't communicated it well enough. with the people who were selling the business, which then basically led to them feeling like we weren't actually progressing and we weren't putting in the effort to get the deal done. This led us to having a long conversation with them and them deciding to pull out of the deal. So the big lessons I've learned from it is that essentially we've got to hold the hand of the people who are selling the business so that they are constantly being communicated with about the deal that we're doing. Where I think, so a big lesson that I learned was that you can't just presume that professionals are going to do what they're paid to do. You've got to be the one driving the deal forward. So any of you who are looking at buying businesses, make sure when you get it to heads of terms, that isn't a conclusion. Which is the problem is a lot of people who are selling their business think that when they've signed heads of terms that they've actually managed to sell their business. Well, obviously that doesn't happen in our case it was going to happen about 12 weeks down the line. But the person who's selling needs to feel that they're actually gonna get the deal through that they want in the time that they want. So on future deals, I'm going to be much more proactive about keeping in contact with customers, making sure with the person who's selling, and making sure that we are having a conversation with them that allows them to know that we are going to get the deal done.